Hey everyone, it's Kelsey. Welcome back to my channel, and I'm so excited because it is time to watch the 4th episode of Agatha All Along. As you guys know, I am absolutely loving this show. I think it is so well done and so much fun. Perfect for spooky season. So we left off. The Coven just completed the first trial. We lost Sharon. May she rest in peace. I'm very excited to see where this episode takes us, to see what the second trial is. Let's get into it.
Didn't think you had it in you.
You didn't think you would what in them?
What does that mean?
Why did you come with us? She said the road would save me.
Oh, is it the curse?
R.I.P. Mrs. Hart. Well, more power for the rest of us.
That's crazy.
What if we summon a backup Green Witch to the road? Anybody got a spell book? Ah.
I saw somebody say that he is trying to transcribe his own version of the Darkhold. And I can't stop thinking about that. Also, I love every single one of these characters and I don't want any of them to die. Or I feel like they're going to... rip.
May she be smart and not annoying.
Can she bring some Advil?
Me.
Heard you guys were having a party.
How did you?
I was in the neighborhood. Less a green witch, more the green witch.
Oh my god.
What a scary bitch.
Slay. Oh my god, I love it.
No.
Interesting. They have such a weird and interesting dynamic that I cannot wait to dive into. And I hope that we see like flashbacks or something that explains their relationship because they have such a weird relationship. But I love it. I'm here for it.
She was trying to open the road, wasn't she? With her concerts.
Her fans were her coven.
Interesting.
Alice! Alice, don't!
Does she channel spirits? I know she like is divination, right? But I'm like, is this her like seeing the future as if it's happening or like living in the future, or can she also talk to spirits? That's what I'm unclear on.
I get the pleasure of watching you do what you do best, and I get my buddies.
Is she warning them?
We've been cursed.
That gave me chills. That was so creepy.
I think this.
I love that.
Trial started.
I wonder if the floor is relevant. There's like little pie slices on the floor. What the hell?
Brought it in here, didn't you?
Leave her alone, Agatha.
I didn't think it was real. I thought it was me. I couldn't save her.
That's sad. She have to play the
Right.
song.
I'm not playing that song.
All signs point to a jam session.
Lorna's version is different, though.
What did Lorna want from the road?
To break the curse.
To save her daughter.
You should have burnt to a crisp years ago.
Wait, I'm gonna cry.
But alive. That's because at any given moment, somewhere, someone is playing that song that you hate so much. Lorna's ballad is a protection spell.
That's so sweet. I need a minute. That's so sweet.
Play it right, play it well, and maybe
I love
you won't
this.
die.
Ouch. Jeez. This is very metal.
I can see it. I can kill it.
That was dope as hell.
He's young. He's strong.
Don't! Don't. What do you need, Jen? What do you need?
Slay.
Jennifer. Look what you did.
Got me tearing up again. So is Rio death or like a reaper or something? Because it seemed like it was kind of her decision.
Now you know. It was all for you. Sad is better than angry.
You guys don't have extra nipples? I'm covered in nipples.
Still alive. Great.
Did you put the sigil on me?
No.
Actually, I wouldn't know.
A sigil works on the witch who cast it as well.
Oh.
Sigils are destroyed. But before you ask how, in that curious little voice of yours, the answer is when they're no longer needed.
Oh. Okay, I also saw somebody say that sigils are rooted in chaos magic. So I guess in the comics, I don't know if this is true, somebody did like a breakdown video after the last episode. Forget who it was, but it was very interesting. And they said sigils are kind of, in the comics they're like Wanda's thing because they're like a chaos magic thing. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that's how they're doing it in the MCU, but I think it's important to know and point out.
Careful you don't say something nice to me.
No, I won't.
What really happened to your son?
See, I wouldn't have asked. It's none of my business.
What is that?
Vampire bite. Right before I knocked out his other two.
I love that.
How is he?
Mouthy.
That's a good sign.
I think that was from Rio, honestly. Look at this ground.
I loved someone. And I had to do something that I didn't.
She's being so obvious about who she's talking about. She's like,
And it hurt them.
so she definitely sacrificed her son. And she regrets it.
She is my scar.
That's actually so romantic. In like a really fucked up way.
Don't think for a second I've forgotten what you said in the sound booth.
Me as fuck. You imagine someone, like someone who you loved hurting you and then being like, she's my scar. Like that just feels very romantic to me. It really does. It's giving Bridgerton. Like, I burn for you, you vex me, you're the bane of my existence. It's on a level with that. Aww.
That boy isn't yours.
See, I'm glad we know. Y'all, as usual, that was very good. Love the Agatha and Rio relationship dynamic. I was picking up on some romantic tension there, so it wasn't really that shocking to me because as soon as she was like, oh, I love someone and I had to do something, I was like, okay, she's talking about Agatha. So obviously they were in love. They're probably still in love. That's what it's giving. She sacrificed Agatha's son for the Darkhold. Now, did they walk the road together and then get the Darkhold at the end of the road? Is that what happened and they were the two witches that walked the road? Or did they like make some sort of sacrifice? I'm guessing Agatha wasn't there for the actual sacrifice. So Rio did the sacrifice, maybe sacrificed her son to Mephisto or something. I feel like we're gonna see her son again. Like, we'll see Nick Scratch, I feel like, at some point, maybe even at the end of the show. I feel like he's probably gonna be with Mephisto because Mephisto is... Obviously, they talked about him last episode, but also I've heard he's being introduced into the MCU because he's going to be in one of the upcoming movies. It's interesting that she says it was her job. So I'm like, was it her job that Agatha gave her? Because she was like, I'm not going to be strong enough to do this. Or was it her job from somebody else? Clearly she regrets it and didn't want to do it because you can see the remorse. That's kind of like one of the first like genuine emotions I feel like we've gotten from her, like, is to do with this situation. So obviously she didn't want to do it, and then she had said in the first episode that Agatha took the Darkhold and ran and then hid behind the power. So clearly Agatha found out what she did. She didn't trust her anymore. She was betrayed, so she took the book and ran. Maybe she took the book because she was going to look for a way to get her son back. Maybe she has been doing that. Ooh, I'm cooking. Hold on. Maybe that was why she was so interested in Wanda, was because of how powerful the magic was. The fact that she had the power of like spontaneous creation and she created like Vision and her kids out of nothing. Maybe she thought that she could do the same thing for her and recreate Nick Scratch. Or there is, I'm thinking back to that scene when after Agatha kills Sparky the dog, her kid, like Billy and Tommy go up to Wanda and they're like, oh, but you can fix anything, like you can fix the dead. And Wanda's like, I can't do that. And Agatha goes, Agnes at the time obviously, but she goes, you can't? So I don't know if she was hoping that Wanda would be able to resurrect her son and or recreate her son. I don't think her son's dead though. I think that her son is like working with Mephisto. But I do think that was the motive for WandaVision, because you know, you get to the end of WandaVision and you're like, okay, the motive of Agatha was just curiosity and power. But I think it goes deeper than that. I think the motivation was to do with her son, which arguably she should have just said that if that was the truth, because Wanda really would have emphasized with that. Empathize. You know what I'm trying to say? She would have related to that struggle, and she might have even helped her, which is kind of the ironic part about this now, is because she wasn't honest. Obviously, that's part of her character. She's clearly afraid to be honest and open up to people and trust people because the person she loved, Rio, betrayed her. Looks like her mother betrayed her, because we have that scene where she tried to kill her mother, like her mother tried to kill her. Doesn't want to trust, but that's the ironic part, is because if she would have just been honest with Wanda, Wanda probably would have done her best to try to help her. I know Wanda didn't know what she was doing, but under her tutelage, she could have learned. I know in the comics, I'm pretty sure Agatha kind of takes Wanda under her wing and teaches her stuff. I'm sure we'll get a flashback to what actually happened. Probably not until like the last episode or two, but I'm confused if Rio is like Death or a Reaper or something. I don't know what the equivalent of that is in the Marvel magic world and universe. It seemed like she was begging Rio not to take Teen away. It would be interesting in the scene, because if she was just normal, why beg her? She wasn't even helping, she was just standing there. So clearly it was up to her. I'm just not sure why that is or what exactly that means. It is interesting that she says, that's not yours, like he's not yours. Clearly that's confirmation that that's not her son. They could be tricking us, but I don't think it is. I think that they are letting us know that that is not her son. I don't know, does Rio know that because she knows where this Nick actually is? She knows, like, I'm not sure about that whole thing, but if it is not, if we're taking what Rio says at face value and it is not Nick Scratch, which I did not think it was anyways, I knew that Agatha thought so, but now that we know, definitely Billy. We know his name's Billy because I've just seen that confirmed with like mix-ups. I watched a really confusing video where someone was saying that it's Billy Maximoff's spirit in like Billy Kaplan's body, if that makes sense. Like, because people were saying the car accident in Eastview that Agatha brings up in the first episode of this show is actually the car accident that Teen got into, like Billy Kaplan got into, and he like, I don't know, died or something, but when like Wanda's spell dispersed, Billy Maximoff's soul like went into Billy Kaplan's body, so it's Billy Maximoff's soul in Billy Kaplan's body. I saw someone say this. I don't know how plausible it is. It's a little confusing, but the evidence they presented made me think there's a possibility, especially because Joe Locke's name is in front of an Eastview like newspaper, and he's the only name that's in front of something that's not witch related. So that could be an Easter egg for us and a clue. They do like to do clues, but I'm still convinced it's Billy Maximoff, like in some way. Not sure exactly what way that is, but I'm convinced that that's him and that he's on the road to get Wanda back, or maybe to get his whole family back. I don't know, but I definitely think this whole show, the purpose of it kind of is to resurrect Wanda, which she's my girl. So I'm very happy about that. So that means Wanda would have put the sigil on him, but I don't know when she would have had time to do that or done that. So I saw someone say that sigils are rooted in chaos magic and they're more Wanda's thing. But I don't know when she would have cast that or had the time to cast that. But she does have magic on autopilot, so maybe she didn't even realize that she casted it. Maybe she casted it in WandaVision. I don't know, because it was kind of from her perspective. So maybe because she forgot that she did it, the audience didn't get to see that she did it. I don't know. I'm just really theorizing here, but this is my favorite part about this show. This was my favorite part of WandaVision. I love theorizing. I love like deep diving and like seeing the clues and the Easter eggs. It's so fun. It's just like, I feel like a detective. I love it. I heard the wardrobe was very intentional and all of their pendants mean something different. And what's interesting about that is that Sharon's pendant, I guess, symbolizes like new beginnings. So people think that she's gonna be resurrected towards the end of the season, and she's not actually dead. I don't know if that's true, but regardless, I think someone needed to die to raise the stakes, and also her death made room for Rio to be on the road, which is such an interesting dynamic. But I'm very interested to see where they go with this. Happy no one died this episode. So we've done the potions trial and the fire trial. So we've got divination left. We've got the green witch trial left, whatever that's gonna be. And then we've got Agatha. Whatever Agatha's power is, I'm not sure what her power really is. There's 5 of them, right? Because it's earth, there's 5 elements if you count spirit, which most people do. So there's fire is, we already did. Water, because I already said that was the potions. So then we've got earth, which is obviously the green witch, air, and then spirit. So I'm unclear if divination is air or spirit. Unclear which one Agatha represents and what her like specialty sort of is, because it seems like everyone sort of has a specialty. Like an argument could be made for divination to be spirit or air, but I'm feeling spirit because she keeps talking to people, and I'm wondering if she's talking to spirit or if she's seeing the future, because she has now said 2 things. She was like, try to save Agatha, and then said Alice no. So I don't know, I'm like, is she talking to spirits? Is she channeling them and it's like spirit speaking to them? Or is it she's like living the future in real time and sometimes she says things that she's gonna say later, you know? So I'm not really sure. That was a really good episode. I've got a lot of theories. I'm very interested to see where this goes. I loved the way that they broke the curse. Like, I know it's a little cheesy, but like it was cheesy in a good way. And I think like witch shows should be a little cheesy because it makes them more fun. The way they did it was so metal, like with the flames and the demon, like that was pretty dope. And that must have been fun for them to shoot. I'm also curious who put the curse on their family to begin with. I wonder if we will find that out. Is anybody capable of cursing people, or is it something that only specific witches can do, or like Mephisto has to do, or some sort of demon has to do? I'm not sure. So that will also be interesting to learn. I don't know if they're going to tell us that. I would assume that they're going to. I love that we got to learn more about Alice's story and that backstory. I'd be interested to learn more about Jen's backstory, figure out how she was bound without magic. I'm assuming some sort of deal was made because that's what it's seeming like. Like, it's seeming like Rio had a deal with someone, had to kill Nick. I feel like someone put a curse. Then I feel like the binding of Jen could have been some sort of curse, some sort of deal, and then the divination's witch, whose name I always forget, she has like bad luck, I guess, like because she wants to change her fortune. So I'm wondering if they have all been cursed by someone or something. I wonder what the next trial is gonna be. I feel like they'll probably do like wind or earth. I feel like spirit will be last. Normally I would be like, oh, earth is probably gonna be next, but I feel like they'll do wind next because I feel like earth and spirit are gonna be the 2 with the highest stakes. And normally I wouldn't think that earth would have the highest stakes, but because it's Rio's element and she is such an interesting character, I feel like her challenge is gonna have high stakes, so I feel like they'll save that towards more of the end. So I'm gonna guess wind's gonna be next. That is all for today's video. Love that episode. Loving this show. Can't wait for the next episode. Comment down below what you thought of this episode. Let me know what your predictions are or what you think of my predictions. Let me know if there's any other like shows or movies you think I should react to. Give it a thumbs up down below if you enjoyed. And if you're not subscribed already, be sure to do so. It makes me very happy. Helps my channel out a lot. And I'll see you guys on Wednesday with another video. Later, Gators. Bye.